Hi guys, it's Ray here from Man City Fan Chat. Hope you're all well this evening. Well, some really important breaking news in the last hour or so. FIFA have concluded their investigation into City and the signing of youth players. And at the end of it all, City have been fined approximately £315,000. Now that's after admitting breaching FIFA rules on the signing of youth players. So that's basically under 18s. But, and here's a big but, unlike Chelsea, we've not been hit with the transfer ban. I repeat, we've not been hit with the transfer ban. And that's got some on social media waving their arms and stamping their feet because obviously Chelsea have been hit with a two-window transfer ban, and those fans are very, very unhappy, as are fans of other clubs who, let's be honest, don't know the rules and don't understand why City have got away with a fine, Chelsea got banned, and without looking into it, they don't want to look into it, they just want to get that soundbite out and have a pop at City. That's their problem, not ours, guys. So I thought I'd look into this quite briefly. Start off by going through some of the FIFA rules, what FIFA said about this, or what they say about this, and the City statement admitting their transgression of the rules, and then I'll look at the Chelsea aspect as well. Now, the FIFA rules are basically quite straightforward. FIFA bans the international transfers of under 18s unless it meets their guidelines. Now, they say under 18s can only be transferred abroad if the player's parents move to the country in which the new club is located for non-footballing reasons. Both clubs are in the European Union or European Economic Area, and the player is aged between 16 and 18. But the buying club must also meet criteria relating to education, training, living conditions and support. They live within 100 kilometres of the club they are moving to. So these rules are quite strict, let's say, and quite straightforward. There's not on that reading, there's not a lot to them. Follow the rules, no problems. Don't follow the rules, problems. So City were investigated for an alleged 8 breaches of this guideline, and they were found guilty on 2 counts. Okay, that's what led to the fine, and City pleaded guilty. Yeah, they accepted the charge against them on these 2 counts, and so that I think has helped to reduce the level of punishment. Yeah, it's only 2 breaches, minor breaches. If truth be told, that's what's led to the fine. So let's go and read first of all the FIFA statement and then the City statement. The FIFA Disciplinary Committee has sanctioned English club Manchester City FC for breaches relating to the international transfer and registration of players under the age of 18. Manchester City FC was found to have breached, amongst others, Article 19 of the FIFA regulations on the status and transfer of players. The Disciplinary Committee took into account the fact that Manchester City FC accepted its responsibility and sanctioned the club with a fine of 370,000 Swiss francs. The protection of minors is a key element in FIFA's overall regulatory framework relating to the transfer of players, and the effective enforcement of these rules is paramount, as has also been confirmed on various occasions by the Court of Arbitration for Sport. The decision issued by the Disciplinary Committee was notified today. Okay, so basically, yeah, UEFA saying we breached 2 rules or on 2 accounts, and they fined us this 370,000 Swiss francs. I think that's about £315,000. So it's not too bad, let's be quite honest. Let's look at City's statement next. Manchester City FC can confirm that it has today received a reprimand and a Swiss franc 370,000 fine following the decision of the FIFA Disciplinary Committee concerning the international transfer of players under the age of 18, particularly in relation to their trial periods and participation in friendly games. The club accepts responsibility for the breaches, which arose as a result of misinterpretation of the regulations in question. All of the breaches occurred before December 2016, when guidance on the interpretation of the provisions was issued, since which date Manchester City has been fully compliant. The club regards highly and shares FIFA's determination to ensure the protection of minors in football and has cooperated fully with the investigation, which has been transparent and evidence-based at all times. So there you have it. I mean, City have cooperated with the investigation from FIFA, no big problems there, and FIFA have issued that fine. Yeah. Now, I think there was a problem with the guidance. I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember that now. If the FA had given some incorrect guidance potentially, but once FIFA had clarified the situation, City have not been in breach since. They followed the rules since, and as I said, it was that misunderstanding that's led to the breaches on these two accounts, and that was, I think, involving trial games. So we hadn't signed them, but it was involving trial games for these players. I think they'd come African players. Now, the issue with Chelsea fans, and they've got mental on social media. Let's deal with them first. Now, the big difference between Chelsea and City: Chelsea were investigated for, off the top of my head, over 70 cases, and they were found guilty. I think it was 28 or 29 cases. They were found guilty as charged. Okay, that's a lot more than two. So they were banned for 2 transfer windows. The first one is already ongoing. It's just finished. Now, Chelsea pleaded not guilty in this, so that's not going to help their case. I'm not sure what level of cooperation they give to FIFA, but they pleaded not guilty. So all these things stack up against them, which is why they ended up with this 2-window transfer ban. I mean, 29 cases is a heck of a lot more than 2. But some Chelsea fans and other fans of other clubs who want to see City punished for whatever they can be punished. You know, they're not happy with our football on the pitch. We're winning too many things, and they want us punished, whether they're Chelsea fans, Liverpool fans, United fans, whatever. Loads of fans have come out of the woodwork, seething at the fact that City have been fined. Let's be quite honest, 300 and odd grand. It's not a lot of money. You know, when City are turning over somewhere in the region of £505 million last time. So it's. I mean, some wags have called it pocket change for Sheikh Mansour. So Chelsea fans are up in arms about this. But look, you were found guilty of 28 or 29 offences, or in 28 or 29 cases. That's a heck of a lot. And I think probably one of the, and people are saying, well, look, it was the same offence. Why are City getting so lightly punished and Chelsea comparatively so heavily punished? And I think the best analogy I've seen so far was from Pete on Twitter. And he said it's like, basically, I'm going to paraphrase it, I'll put his tweet up as well, but it's like getting caught doing 33 in a 30-mile-an-hour zone. That's what City are guilty of. Chelsea, however, were caught doing 70 in that 30-mile-an-hour zone, and you'd expect the punishments to be vastly different. Okay, I've just added a little bit of my own there, but that's the basis of Pete's tweet, and it's bang on. City have been found, I think basically it's minor transgression. We've owned up to it, we've cooperated, and we've accepted everything, and it's been done nice and quickly for FIFA. They've done their investigation. It's not brown envelopes. It's not been pushed under the carpet or under the table or whatever. Yeah, it's been investigated and dealt with, and people are just not happy that City haven't been punished. Chelsea, on the other hand, committed a whole lot of more offences. I mean, as I said, they were found guilty 28 or 29, and who knows what level of cooperation they give to FIFA, and they said they were not guilty. So after all that, they've got their punishment, we've got ours, and we move on. It doesn't mean, we're in the clear with all the footballing organisations and authorities. We're still investigated off the top of my head again. We've got the UEFA FFP investigation. We've got, I think the Premier League are looking into our finances slightly, but the Premier League FFP, their rules are much, I think, more relaxed or softer, let's say, than UEFA. And the Premier League are still looking at City, I believe, for breaches of transfer of youth players, academy players within this country, and we'll wait to see what happens on that. Just points out that Liverpool have been, I think they were banned for 2 years from recruiting academy players after that Stoke incident. So other clubs have been found guilty of transgressions, and their fans and others don't want to shout that from the rooftops. They just want to have a go at City. But as I've been saying for probably a year and a half now, they can't beat us on the pitch. So all they're doing is trying to criticise us for anything that's off the pitch. Net spend, a load of rubbish. It's not a metric that's of any value whatsoever. But people talk about net spend. They talk about the empty had, even though City's tickets sold, okay, this might not be people who actually turn up at the ground, but the tickets sold last season at home games was a higher percentage compared to our capacity than Liverpool. Yeah, the best season in living memory, and they sold actually fewer tickets as a percentage of their capacity than the previous season. People are throwing all sorts of jibes at us. You've got the journalists as well talking about sports washing and whatever, and it's because they can't beat us on the pitch. Yeah, now you hear people talking about it's boring football and shouldn't have one team winning everything. But no one complained when United were winning something like, when about 12 years ago or something, 11, 12 years ago, whatever. They won 3 on the bounce. They won 8 out of the first 10 Premier Leagues or something ridiculous like that. No one complained when Bob Paisley, that fantastic Liverpool manager, won something in the region of 7 first divisions, as it was called then, I think, in the space of about 10 years. And he threw in, was it 3 European Cups as well? Or whatever it was. He threw in a lot of silverware in a very short space of time. No one complained that Liverpool were buying the title and buying the league and their football was boring. Their football was beautiful. Their football was majestic as well. So, other fans and City fans look at that Liverpool team, look at that dominant United team and say, look, they played great football. We never cried about their money. We never cried. Yes, we were probably not happy with their dominance, but we didn't decry them their dominance. It was their time. Now it's our time. Let's enjoy it, City fans. Yeah. So that's the FIFA investigation concluded. Yeah, into the signing of underage players. City, in summary, have been fined about £315,000. No transfer ban, which is actually very, very important because that means obviously we can sign international players. It's not just the kids; it's the international players. That's very, very important. I've got a sneaky suspicion, looking at the business we did in this transfer window, that City kind of might have been tipped off. They might have known that FIFA were not going to issue us with a transfer ban, because my personal opinion is if they were, I thought we'd do a lot more transfer business and buy players and loan them back out to save them for next season or the season after. So that was my feeling. But hey, as I said, in summary, City have been fined £315,000, no transfer ban, happy days, we carry on, keep smiling City fans, and we'll see you around Blues.